This is Jennifer Valdez.
Yeah, we've been watching that air quality since Sunday when this mess started in Rockdale County. Right now in Atlanta, the air quality is moderate. That means healthy adults should be fine, healthy children, even healthy elderly should be fine. But if you're especially sensitive to poor air quality, it may impact you. Otherwise, you should be fine to go on in and about your day. Obviously, in Rockdale County and surrounding that plume, the air quality will be a little worse. Right now over the airport, tons of sunshine. It looks as good as it feels. It is warm out there with lots of 80s on the map. 80 in Atlanta and Athens and Covington, 82 right now in Eatonton, 80 in Rome. Because we have more sunshine, we are warmer right now than we were this exact time yesterday. In fact, in Atlanta, 6 degrees warmer right now compared to this time yesterday. Also 6 degrees warmer in Rome and Canton. Lawrenceville is about 7 degrees warmer compared to this time yesterday. As we take into the afternoon, we'll climb to 85 degrees. Lots of sunshine, a warm afternoon. Not expecting any rain for today. And it will stay dry through the evening. By 6 o'clock, we'll be in the low 80s. By 9 o'clock, we'll be in the mid 70s. Although a lot of sunshine right now, partly cloudy skies through the evening with temperatures eventually dropping to the mid 60s. As far as the rain goes, we do have a front approaching on Friday, but not a whole lot of rain associated with this front. We're calling it mostly dry with about a 20% chance of rain Friday. May see a stray shower, but I wouldn't even worry about bringing an umbrella with you. Even after Friday, several dry days in the forecast. And this is what we need after all the rain. Some areas 15, 20 inches of rain we had last week. We need several dry days, and that is going to be the forecast all the way through the weekend. The rain chances we have Friday are very slim, mostly in the morning, but even in the afternoon, can't rule out a stray shower, but most areas will be dry during the day Friday. It will also be cooler once that rain moves in. In fact, temperatures on Friday only reaching the upper 70s, so a little bit of a break from those 80s. We are watching the tropics, still in hurricane season through the end of November. An area we've been watching for a week now still has a 40% chance of development, possibly developing in the Gulf of Mexico. Models have it heading towards Florida. So whether it's a tropical depression, a tropical storm, or just an area of low pressure, it will bring additional rainfall across the Florida peninsula. As of now, not expecting any impacts here in North Georgia. There's that low chance of rain on Friday, slightly cooler as the front moves through. And then we dry out this weekend with highs in the low 80s. Looks like another cool down by the middle of next week with lows on Tuesday morning in the 50s. Feeling like fall.